And when you looked at the wins from election night a few weeks ago, a progressive won in New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Then you see more moderates win in Virginia and New Jersey, which isn't surprising. But when you're looking at 2028, the candidates that people are gravitating to, they're all over the spectrum, right? Newsom is a front runner in a lot of polls. One poll, Morning Consult, has former Vice President Harris. You have Pete Buttigieg, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Governor Pritzker, Shapiro, Walz, Bashir, Booker, Whitmer, Klobuchar. You're seeing all these names. I mean, you've read the tea leaves for us. What are you looking for in 2028? Do you think it's Newsom's to lose? What does that look like?
I think it's too early to tell. I think that we've seen this in a lot of past cycles on both sides where there are names that appear, right, who out of the gate where you think that's got to be the one. That must be the guy or gal who's going to win the nod. And it's possible, but sometimes I used to be a competitive runner, right? The person who goes out really fast in the race, right, is often not the person who kicks it in at the end and comes through the tape first, right? It's those people drafting off of them a bit behind. So I think Newsom is doing great work right now as Democrats go in terms of raising alarm about this authoritarian Republican Party. I don't know where we see that take him in 2028. I think there are some names that you didn't mention. I actually think that Ruben Gallego is a very interesting candidate. He's the junior senator from Arizona. He is a person who really, I think, has a unique bent to how he talks. And he himself, of course, is a Latino man and talks a lot about those types of issues. That's a particular cohort of the Democratic Party that they used to count on that has gone away. And he's a person who beat Carrie Lake in that Senate race in the same year that Donald Trump also won the state of Arizona. So I think that those purple state senators and governors are really interesting. What I'm concerned about is what moves Republicans are going to make up and down the ballot right now that really could make it hard for us to have a fair election in 2028. So I think that as these candidates get out and spread messages around affordability, around issues to make people's lives better, we also have to keep raising the alarm, from my perspective, about the real threat that this Republican Party poses to the rule of law and ensuring that people are standing up and really trying to make sure we can shore up safeguards for our American democracy.
And then when you look on the Republican side, it's a little less interesting because in all the polls, there's one very, very clear frontrunner, and that's Vice President J.D. Vance. Everyone else is in a distant second, third, and so on. And he's obviously the heir to what people are calling MAGA. I mean, who do you think on the Democrat side would be best equipped to go head to head with him? And I know that, like you said, it's too early to tell. Everything can change. I mean, we saw in 2015, Jeb Bush was the front runner and President Trump was in a way, way distant place, obviously, at how things change. But who do you think is one of those Democratic candidates who's best to go head to head with the heir apparent to MAGA?
Ruben Gallego. I do think a Ruben Gallego JD Vance matchup would really take the wind out of the sails of someone like JD Vance, right? Similar tough background, tough childhood, really incredible sort of American story, veteran military record, put himself through Harvard as in ROTC, served in combat, I think creates a really interesting antidote to the phoniness of some of JD Vance's currently crafted narrative. But again, I think that we are not paying enough attention to the things that people like Steve Bannon are saying when they talk about a Trump third term and Trump and how that will unfold. Because I think that people now think, oh no, crisis averted, Donald Trump is going to go away and we're going to have a reset. Even if Donald Trump does not run for office or try to make the case for a third term in 2028, there is going to be some effort afoot among MAGA to keep the core Trump center in power. And that is the thing that I think is the biggest threat the American people face right now. So I think it's good to have our eyes on who will the elected officials be who throw their hats in the arena. But I think that there's a lot brewing under the surface with this Republican Party that people need to be paying attention to outside of the normal paradigm of sort of, say, circa 2012 horse race politics. So
So that's